Hello and welcome to Hyper Unboxing. Today I have seen Zootopia 2 and this is my out of theater review for the film. Before we start, I was at first concerned about this movie. If you have seen my previous video, you know. Click on the video that's showing on the top right. But that's not the only concern I had about the film if you've seen that video. My concern was that Disney would ruin this series, but it actually turned out to be pretty good, surprisingly. So here's my review for it, but before I start, I must warn you that this will contain full spoilers for this movie. So if you haven't seen it, go see it and then return to this video. Well, the pros are as it follows. I did not expect this film to take itself seriously. Normally other sequel films would usually change the tone. Like for example, one film has this serious tone, but in the second film it just ruins it by becoming a lighter toned sequel that is clearly trying to appeal to all the demographic to able to get $1 billion at the box office. But this one actually took itself seriously, which is actually a very good thing. And some moments made me feel a lot for these characters. But of course, still, it has that lighter tone to counterbalance it. But I did not expect this though. But it is very good. When I first saw Gary the Snake, I at first thought he was just some comedic side relief which they usually put in sequels films, but it actually turns out he's a character who is very sincere and he actually benefited the film. There are some genuine moments where I actually truly cared about him. The first film had a naturalistic lighting, which was pretty decent, but this film took it even further. Not the natural lighting, but the artificial lighting. More specifically, the blue and the orange light, which are actually called daylight and tungsten lights. They actually went so far as to create this unique look for some scenes, like the old homes in the reptiles town, where they had this blue lighting, which really felt like John Carpenter's The Thing. That film had a unique cinematography, which clearly matched the tone of the film and the themes of it. Really cool. And it felt like it was better than the first film in terms of cinematography. The action sequences are pretty entertaining. Sure, it's not exactly innovative or unique, but as a person who watched lots of art house cinema and has never seen mainstream stuff for some time, this is actually pretty refreshing for me, and you can understand why. The voice performance are well done here. I don't know if they are using famous actors or something, but they did a very good job. I won't get into too much, but the voice performance for Gary the Snake felt so touching, which is thanks to the performance of Mr. Kwan, if I'm pronouncing that right. He's one of the actors who actually managed to do a great voice performance. It's not exactly the best when it compares to professionals, but on a mainstream basis, it actually works so well because he is really transforming himself with this role. By that I don't mean like method acting, but I mean he has this unique voice that it's not recognizable. He has a slight accent, but at least you won't be thinking about the actor, but you'll be thinking about a certain kind of person playing this character. Well, that's it for pros. Now it's time for cons. First issue is that the film has tons of sequel tropes and cliches, just like other films. Like introducing a bunch of new characters and disregarding the previous characters. Like Clawhauser wouldn't appear until midway or halfway into the film, where he just plays a small role of just being this computer guy, and then suddenly he just disappears from the whole film. Same thing happens with Chief Buffalo, where he was in the whole film for the first half of the film, and then he gets venomous bite from Gary, yeah, and then he'll be hospitalized, and he wouldn't appear in the whole film until the ending, where he just sort of serves as a cameo. Another issue I would like to bring up is that in the near climax of the film, the character Robert Lixley, at first it was looking like he's gonna help them, which was okay, but in the end they did this little twist where he's actually the main antagonist and trying to continue his horrible family's his legacy, if you know what I'm talking about. Fine, it's okay if you have a twist villain, but at least have some subtle clues about, which unfortunately leads to the third issue we'll talk about later. And let him have some wins to make him intimidating, which they did, but they did not give him enough. Doing this twist villain definitely is a cliche. So, oh yeah. The second issue is that the film is always referencing other films. Like during the final climax, it was doing a little reference to Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. If you don't know, there's this hallway scene that is in the maze, grass maze that's covered in snow, and there's this exact shot, and it even plays a remixed version of that Shining theme. So it's pretty referential, and it even references Hulu and other many things, which isn't too much, but it can detract from the experience and makes you wonder more about this. This is clearly designed for making videos like 55 details and things you missed while watching the movie. But it might be my just nitpick, because the first film referenced Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather, which is okay. But what purpose does this reference slash homage does in the narrative context? It doesn't really do anything. Another thing that annoyed me about the film is that it's very expository. Not even a single subtext is used. So there's some shots that might do a little bit of visual storytelling, but it's not exactly Harakiri. If you know that film, you know. But it is very expository, which I kind of guess is for children to understand, and also for people who's gonna leave it in the background while they do their chores, which has become a stagnant issue in the era of streaming, where they prioritize the attention spans of the customers over high quality storytelling, which is very problematic. Fourth and final issue is its lack of silence. This is a really rare issue no one brings up, but not even a single second of the film had a single moment of silence, let alone being for at least 2 minutes minimum, which is a very big problem in the animation landscape. Not even indie projects has a moment of silence. So this is a mostly modern animation landscape issue. Even last year's Inside Out 2 also had a bunch of silence issue, where the longest stretch of silence only lasts for 30 seconds. Imagine hearing lots of lines of dialogue so many times, which is not a problem for young people, like the children, which is the intended audience, but people who are used to silent films and lots of book reading will definitely have some issues with this. And one more thing I would like to add is that this film needed to take a little more risk compared to Bad Guys 2. This had a little bit less risk compared to that movie. which made Zootopia 2 a little bit of a safe bet, if you could say. But I hope they take more risk if they decide to make more films based off of this. But hey, that's all for my review. Once it comes out on streaming, I will do a proper, fresh review of the movie. And not only that, I would be making my review video for Disney's next big project, and that is Avatar Fire and Ash. So stay tuned to watch that movie's review once it comes out in theaters. And I will be seeing it in its intended format, which is 3D. So keep an eye out, and you might want to see it. If you wanna stay tuned when that video comes out, all you gotta do is subscribe and changing the bell icon to all, so you can able to see the video on your feed. So you gotta hit the subscribe button and press all on the bell icon and say a like for the video if you enjoyed the video. So goodbye and see you later.